we looking good, brother? Let me get my mic. You on? Yeah, you on. One.
Yes, sir.
Oh, let me get you music. Yeah, you good to go. Did you see what words said on the mic? You know, you got to keep it in front of you.
Yes, sir.
Turn you down.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's me too. You on?
1 2 1 2. Coming to you live from the studios of DJ Rue. We hitting you with the Grown Man podcast. I'm your host, Man D.
Yes, sir.
We got my man DJ Rue in the house.
What up? What up? What up? What up?
You know, the Grown Man podcast. It's our first episode. We're going to be touching on a lot of different topics from politics, education, finance, health, music, education, you know, just to name a few.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's a nice show as our first episode, and we'll be discussing things that have to do with daddy issues. Of course, it doesn't matter if you're male or female. You know, we all have daddy issues that we deal with.
Yes, sir.
So we'll be touching on those topics. If you like to come into the chat or whatever, you know, you have that opportunity. Again, I'm your host, Man D. My man DJ Rue on my right. And we just gonna be vibing with y'all tonight and just discussing a few things that will allow us to heal some of the circumstances in our community.
Well said, man. It's
Appreciate
your boy,
you,
the
bro.
DJ Rue. And I can agree with him because a lot of times, as I remember growing up, everybody in the neighborhood had those issues as far as with dads. It's either you had one, he was on drugs, or you didn't have one and he wasn't around. You feel what I'm saying?
Period.
So we had like substitute dads, Mr. Hudson, Mr. Evans, substitute brothers, Madman D. So we had guidance in the neighborhood, but we had to come together. And I guess looking at the youth now, I feel bad for them because I see where we at. We look at the hateful side of the young people, but you don't really know their story. You feel me?
Indeed, but you know, it's really not hard to tell because when you think about it, like, you know, where we came from being in the streets and stuff like that. And the essence of why we were in the street is because we had the lack of male interaction into our lives.
That guidance.
That's it. I mean, not to take nothing away from the mothers. Mothers, we love y'all. You know, you have a certain role to play in position, but a man has a role in position to play as well. And even though they're both intricate, sometimes like we lose out because we don't have both of those influences on a steady basis that allow us to be productive members of society.
This is true. And I believe too, one thing is lack of education. If we was educated properly more, we'd get a fuller understanding. Like when we had teachers that cared. Like the teachers now, remember the teachers we had, they had mustaches.
Indeed. You talk about
the teachers now, they got thongs. They mess around with the kids.
Man. Say it again, bro.
So I wish I had the teachers y'all got now. I would say,
you stupid.
Hey, if we had the teachers these kids got now, it'll be a lot of pregnant teachers.
You stupid, bro. Hey, well, look, we don't need none of that action. I mean, that's why we got the situations going like we got going.
My thing is, though, in all sincerity, I think the kids now are growing up much faster. And I look at the problems I faced growing up. His sister and I had a child together, and we had our bumps and bruises and ups and downs. You wouldn't believe that I'd be talking to this man, but love and God and common sense.
No question.
You know what I'm saying?
No question.
Hey, this dude that talked to me, man. Man. Hey, I was hiding from your sister that I was cool with you.
No need for that because we old enough to be able to.
That was years ago.
Well, I mean, we old enough to be able to deal with our circumstances, man.
Yeah.
In the mature way, and that's why, we have so many issues now because people not dealing with their circumstances in mature ways.
And talking to people and like I look at it, a lot of times people talk at people instead of talking to people. Indeed. When you start talking to a person, you could change a lot of stuff. But I'm just now learning that at 45. I done went through them bumps and bruises. Lord knows. And I just look at it. The youth does need guidance. And they actually looking for it, but they looking for it in a negative way. And the way it affected us is because we came together like me, you, Starsky, Twan. We all talked. Them nights on the porch.
Well, back when I did, it was a certain level of respect, man.
Respect.
You know what I'm saying? Because you were older and you seen that person go through what they went through to get to where they were or at. Then it's like I'm coming up under that. Yeah. So let me learn how to avoid what that dude went through, or how to mimic what he went through and still escape prison, death. You know what I'm saying? So it's so many elements involved in that. But let's go back to the essence of this, because this is what we fail at. It takes two to create a child, male, female, to create that life.
Right.
And it takes two to cultivate that life. So now, if you don't have those elements to help cultivate that particular life, then you're going to be missing something.
You know what, though, brother? And I'm going to say this. And I've learned this over time and looking at the way a lot of things going, especially for black men. We had roadblocks set ahead of us way ahead of time. And a lot of times we fell for them. Like not too long ago, they just set a truck, an Air Jordan truck in the Inglewood area. They knew them kids was going to break in that truck. The kids breaking in the truck, now they locking up 12, 13, 14-year-olds. Now, I looked at that as a broader plan that they already had for us. Right. You take the head down, the whole body go with her. You take the black man out the system, and now the family everywhere.
Right.
So we got drugs, fathers on drugs. We got women that's aggressive, men that's beaters. It's just so many things that come with that. I don't understand how we went from 1930 when black men was out there slaving, working in the field, and the whole family moved when father moved. Now, daddy, they don't know where he at.
Indeed.
Where did it change it?
And let's not just say our community, because it happens with other communities as well.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's really across the board. We could touch on our experiences because it happens. Yeah. We know it firsthand. We on the front lines with it. So because we on the front lines with it, we can really speak to that dynamic. Now I can say I know a lot of fathers that's in the home,
right?
But they're not being dads,
or they in the home, but they not in the home.
Indeed, you got to be able to communicate with your child. Dude. You got to be able to direct your child.
Where's the drink, madman? Where's the drink? Because we finna get real in this piece around. Hey. See, I got my amenities. Y'all see it? You know that hey, man was doing a thing for the YouTube and setting the stuff up. And I said, set it for kids. He said, no, do not set it for the kids.
No, sir, no, sir. Even though we want children to vibe with this. And I think that's one thing too. We need to learn the words of this stuff, because when you say kid is an offspring of a goat. You look up that definition. It means offspring of goat. A child is an offspring of a human.
Yeah.
So we got to quit calling these children animals.
Dude, I'm going to tell you something, and I'm going to mess
because it all resonate, bro.
No, you call a child an animal, they're going to turn into an animal. You say savage, they're going to turn into savage.
Well, we calling them kids. A kid is the offspring of a goat. Well, so, you have to offset that. You know, words are power.
Lack of like I say, lack of education.
Indeed.
Cause I ain't gonna lie. Hey, I was telling somebody this the other day. I remember when you started grown man music.
Yes, sir.
Check it out. I'm like, what, 17, 18, whatever. My daughter was born. His sister was at me.
Yes,
And
sir.
it was just crazy. But he always stayed by my side. I got so many stories behind that. But it was counting to a point in time. We just wasn't even having sex. We would sit on the porch and we was like, we're gonna be focused on this music.
Yes, sir.
That's why I say we came together a little bit different than other cats. Because remember how the surrounding blocks was?
Indeed.
And them niggas, look, we would have females coming on our block, and my guys would throw bottles at the females because they come to see us. And it's all relates with father issues. A lot of them cats have father issues, lack of fathers.
Indeed.
They found the wrong father, in which was in a negative manner. We were skateboarding. I was trying to get on the beats. You was doing the music thing. We was all together. So our minds wasn't focused on something else. So in a kind of way, we was our own fathers.
Well, I can't say that quite.
Not like that, but we was giving each other direction.
Indeed.
Because if I had something going on or you had something going on, now we all on the porch late night talking about it. Like, for real, for real.
Indeed.
And I remember those days.
And in those days, we were sharing science. It wasn't just talking about your conquest of a woman or how much herb you smoke, none of that. It was based off of something with substance. Like, man, did you see what they were doing in Nassau, or how things were happening overseas? It was always a conversation that had substance.
Yeah, and that's a key thing too. And I speak about that a lot. I used to love watching TV. I remember they called the boob tube. But now I watch MSNBC, Channel 11, CNN. I don't watch Fox because I think TV don't have no substance. And then these reality shows, it's just, the Bad Girls Club I think just corrupted every woman. I don't care if you're black or whatever color. It just made women more aggressive. And it's even with the white brothers too as well, where it's to the point where they'll work a great job, this, that, and the other, and they working, and this woman would cheat on them or whatever, or he'll cheat on her, and they would take these brothers to the bank. And now the kids broke down, and it's not just a black thing, it's a male and female thing. And
Indeed.
I know now, and I'm not gonna speak bad about this, but the Me Too movement, you got good elements of that, and you got bad elements of it. And that's most definitely gonna affect a lot of fathers. Just think about the way you feel right now and the way I feel, like what the stuff I went through growing up and the father and all that. Imagine where these kids at now.
Well, let me say this. You have a valid point. At the same time, I'm gonna say that's where you check yourself. Me Too movement, because even though like I work a job 9 to 5, okay?
Right?
So you have to be careful on how you approach. A woman.
What?
You have to be cognizant.
Ladies, don't get mad. Don't get mad.
You got to be cognizant about what you say and how you present yourself, because it could be taken out of context.
Yep.
So now, if I say hello, I can't just say hey, because that may be taken out of context.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we have to be cognizant of how you move. You got to be always thinking in this day and age.
Yeah.
Because you can easily get caught up in something.
Getting relaxed and bad habits.
Because I mean, ultimately, in our community, we used to hollering at the young ladies.
Yep.
Hey girl, what's your name? Or doing something, and that could be detrimental to you, especially now. So you got to be cognizant. So it go back for me saying being cognizant. You got to be a thinker at all times. Man.
Well, it's ironic you say that, because he has children not to do too as well. And I know you done said this.
Indeed.
My kids go out the door. I say, I got good daughters. I say, you got your knife, you got your mace, and pay attention to what's going on around you.
Indeed.
Once you go out this door, you got to start looking around. And Like you said, that's where fathers come in there. Some of these young ladies, they just walking out the door.
Looking any kind of way, coming out with a bonnet on your head, pajama
Joe.
pants. Come on, man. That's not how a lady should present themselves. And
Yeah.
I remember my grandma, like she wasn't tolerating a certain thing.
Yeah.
Even my mother, like my sister couldn't go outside just looking any kind of
I
way.
never seen your mother ever in life come outside unpresentable. I've never seen her in pajamas or nothing like that in public. You know
At
what I'm
all,
saying?
at all.
She come out.
Your mom either. I don't mean to
Yeah,
cut you off.
it's
Your mom
old
neither.
school.
Indeed. Well, you know what? I don't like to use the term old school.
It-
I like to use the term conventional thinking, because there are conventional methods like using the oven versus microwave.
yeah,
So I like to use the term conventional thinking, because ultimately it really not old school. It's the way you should be presenting yourself, period.
but we losing a lot of that.
Well, who's passing it down?
No, I'm saying like certain stuff we losing.
Well, again, we can't lose it if we passing it
Some
down.
things can't be passed. Like remember years ago, it was Catholic schools, and you had a nun teaching the classes. Small thing. Now that's not within our control. Instantly, the nuns start disappearing, my brother. Now you got a real teacher up in there teaching. Because I was in the Catholic school at one point in time, and it was nuns teaching us. Now you don't. The Catholic schools are very expensive. They always been expensive, and you ain't seeing no nuns. Now that's one thing, and I know it's a different off subject, but certain things we can't change. Stuff disappearing like it's crazy. Like obviously, the flip phone they was going to improve the phone, but it's certain things we should have kept, man.
Like what?
Well, a lot of YMCA's. I remember the Y. We was able to go to the Y and go swimming and stuff. Where the Y at now?
Well, it's a few.
Yeah, but
They're just few and far between now. But
remember
they
how
still
it
exist.
was? It was
Indeed.
they was everywhere. Now here it is. Like, and that's another thing. You could a father that is working with his kids, he can take his kids to the Y, or the kids can go to the Y themselves when they ain't got no daddy. They had these classes up in here. They had arts and craft. We don't have that no more. And I think we need to have more direction. Now, speaking as far as on the father level, he just got to stay strong with our brothers.
Well,
Because it's been times
definitely.
I've made a move, and you be like, look, bro, let me talk to you.
Indeed.
Those conversations are very important, and it relates. It be a dude ready to leave his girl, right? You've been able to talk them out of it. Hold on, brother. So you telling me, you know how you talk.
Indeed.
You woo up the bop. That's where I think the brothers, we got to be more supportive. But like I say, if they got us on drugs, they got us in jail, how can we be supportive?
Well, let's go back. Let me expound on what you just said. You said operative phrase, they got us. They don't have us. We got us. See, again,
I
it's
agree.
based off of personal choice. So now, you can't put me on drugs. I have to be a willing participant,
Right.
even involve myself
Right.
in that.
Or
You know what
a
I'm saying?
weak-minded person.
Or that, but I'm just saying that's a part of being a willing participant. At the same time, though, like it's a personal decision. So with that personal decision, how do you say, I'm not gonna take this particular road? I'm gonna do something opposite of what you expect me to do. So now, if I'm doing something opposite of what you expect me to do, are my chances greater to me accomplish whatever it is I'm trying to accomplish?
Oh, at the end of the day, I got a cousin named Lamar, and this is the thing that we've come across, and my cousin Kenny too as well. We are not gonna be what our parents was. We gonna change. We on changing the whole dynamic of the heal thought process. My dad them did a lot of stuff when they was younger, and my aunties and all that stuff, and it came back on us on a negative way. And we just decided I love my dad, he loved his dad, and my cousin Kenny loved his dad, but we focused on changing the trend of the family.
And in what capacity?
Everyday life, walking, leading by example.
Okay, so
So
are you saying that your father didn't lead by example?
no, but look how you come in my house and compared to in the 90s and when you used to come over my crib, it's a big difference. And that's through growth, through talking through brothers like you, masonry, teachers. It all comes together and it comes to one.
Well, let me say this, because when I came in your house, I already knew how to have a certain etiquette when I come and deal with my elders.
Right.
And that had been instilled in me from my grandmother, grandfather, uncles. Again, because personally, I didn't know my father. I didn't meet
Right,
him till
right.
21. So that's how I could touch on some issues about having daddy issues from my personal experience. You know, dealing with rage early on, not having the self-esteem I needed to be able to thrive in certain situations because lack of. So I didn't have that manly element always in my life to say just on point every day, because I have daughters too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I want my daughters to represent me in a different capacity than what they mom may
Right.
want. And no slight to their mom.
Where's my drops?
You know what I'm saying? No slight to their
Let me get,
mom.
let me
But
get
I want them to represent me in a different capacity.
this why I'm gonna mess your head
And,
up.
you know, So
Once again,
so
you
knowing that,
changing the McCraney whole vision. You
of
and your
course,
brother.
of course, and shout out to my brother Meaty. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because participating fathers is what's lacking in our
Man.
circumstance, man. So like I can come over here and I see you directing your daughters. You know what I'm saying? Like a man should, and giving her insight. Look, no, you're not about to eat that because that's not healthy for you.
Right, right,
And you're
right.
not going to get the nutrition that you need for your body to operate in the highest potential that it could operate. So I commend you on that, bro. And it ain't many of us dealing
Well,
with those
I'm gonna
situations.
go
You know what
back
I'm
to
saying?
what I was talking about. We used to have each other backs. Now I ain't putting my business out there, but everybody knew what I was going through in the house. But guess what? When I came outside, I talked to Jerry Evans, I talked to JD, and y'all niggas would be like, y'all cats would be like, look, man, ooh. That's where the strength came from. Now we older. So like other places, and this is what I want to say to a lot of people. Surround yourself by around people that has your best intention. Uh the neighborhood we grew up in wasn't the safest, but guess what? We had a good intention. We sold drugs on the block, believe it or not. And the people didn't know we was selling drugs. You know why? Because we was clean up, we was respectful, and we didn't do nothing. And then eventually it stopped. But it was like that was just like a thing that we went through. No, but through selling drugs, funny as hell. Um, you get the camaraderie, talking to your guys. You gonna eventually talk about something you going through while y'all sitting there on the block. So, a lot of my strength came from friends, family, teachers, my father, my uncles. It was everywhere. Now, my thing is this: it was everywhere. Where is it at now, man? You feel me? Like it's our turn now. You feel me?
You know what? That's where we lose at. We losing in that situation because again, like you said, where we at. So everybody is becoming an individual instead of saying, man, I could impart something in Alpo's son.
Right.
He like to have guns in his video. Look, and I told the young fella, man, that's not wise, bro. If you want to portray a certain situation, why
Ooh-wee.
are you in your videos with guns? You bring unwanted attention to yourself. So slow that down, bro.
Ooh-wee.
Slow that
Hey,
down.
y'all, he said it too.
And
He
I got
said it.
and I had
This
love
why I
for
love him.
Alpo. You know what I'm saying? I got love for their whole
We're
family.
gonna go back
You know,
to because he's a great father, first and
oh
foremost.
no slight. No
But
slight.
your father there, but sometimes he ain't there. So like on that point, you saying like, Poe, I believe you. Well, no, ain't no I believe. Oh, he said something to him about it. But I look at it the way Alfred look at it. Sometimes when you like the way he be in and out, when he in the house, you slide up on him and you put some goodness in. You tell him like, "What is you doing?" Wop the bop, because he be in and out. But when he out in the street, my mama used to say this all the time. She be scared as hell when I walk out the door. So I can imagine with their son.
Let me tell
That
you
they'll say one thing in your face, and then when they get outside,
hey, let me tell you this. Tough love is a mug, bro. I'm gonna say this because, boy, I was trying to do my thing in the streets at 16. All right, my mom found a beeper. She came to me and said, "Dude, what you doing with this? You're not a doctor. So if this is what you're doing, take everything I didn't buy, get out my house. You're not bringing this around my other children. Okay, you're not putting our lives at risk with your activities. So pack your stuff up, everything you didn't buy, and get out of this, boy."
I'm gonna say this,
And I had to get out, and that made me think, okay, how I'm gonna do this? Either I'm gonna be smarter about moving a certain way, or I'm cutting it out. Cause man, I'm not trying
Bro,
to live on the street.
you know
what I'm saying?
you
Tough
hit
love,
on
bro. Tough love is
you
the
hit a
key.
major point. See,
we
went
we
over somebody's head though. You got to rewind back.
But I'm just saying,
Explain
how we tolerate.
This is what I want you to do right now. Explain what a beeper meant back in the day during that time when that happened to you, and people can get a better outlook of where your mother was at. You see what I'm saying?
Well, beepers, doctors were known to have beepers,
right?
And beepers were a little device that numbers would come across for you to call those numbers back. So just think, now we're going to go into two elements, because right now we got a cell phone, right?
Right.
Which dumbs you down. Because when
that's
you get somebody's number
in your pocket.
When you get somebody's number, you putting their name in there. You're not remembering those numbers. With a beeper, you'll remember over 100 numbers, man, and know who those numbers apply to.
And no names popped up. Ever.
So again, there's so many elements involved with this. All right?
I didn't think about it that way.
Man, you got to do brain exercises, bro.
Yeah.
You got to do brain exercises.
Agree. Dog it.
But I'm going to go back. My mom knew a beeper was associated with being a physician. Now, if you got a beeper, you got to be a street physician.
Right. Drug dealer.
You know what I'm saying?
Message.
So now I have a pager, the particular term that's known. A pager. Dude, what you doing with this?
Yeah.
So what we lack, and I commend my mom for that because it made me reflect myself. You know?
Dude, and the thing about it was tough love, like what you just said.
Tough love,
now, his mom is the greatest. Reason being because she raised him, Meaty, and Tanisha. And he was like the man in the house. I remember when I first met you. And she had to be strong. But it was certain areas she couldn't cover. And I remember when you said that 21, I remember your daddy popped up. Your brother was telling me about a story. He wanted to slap your daddy. Now, me with your niece is a different thing. Well, your brother told me, I was like, your daddy said that for real? And I couldn't believe it because he's an older man.
Right.
And I was like, damn. I'm like, that's why these cats be thinking like this. Because you did have your moment. Yeah, you was mad in a motherfucker just at the world, bro.
Where did Madman D arrive from? Where did it derive from? Man, that early trauma, man, of not having a father.
Hey, when I met this dude, he used to always want to fight with me. That's another thing, too. They taught me how to defend myself. Now, I'm going to say this.
Indeed.
The guys in the neighborhood will fuck us up. They just pop up in the hood, baby brother them, and start chasing everybody, fucking motherfuckers up. Those was our fathers that was giving us structure at the time.
And wouldn't really do real harm to you.
Wouldn't really do real harm.
Indeed.
And niggas would kill about you.
Indeed.
But they was making us tough. I used to be like, why is they fucking trying to fight me every day? Them niggas is making me tough. So now I get older, niggas try to swing. I'm like, I'm fighting. Now I'm tough. Damn, where I get this shit from? The guys, when the fathers wasn't there, and we always had fathers, Mr. Such and Such. Those conversations. Remember, they used to get us on the porch, and we'd be on the porch with Mr. Hudson, my daddy, for hours. Young people don't do that.
Not at all.
We'll sit on the porch for hours.
But the whole thing is now the consistency of that happening, because you can't do that one time out of the month,
right?
Or you know what I'm saying, one time out of the week. It has to be an ongoing process. So if you ain't getting that ongoing, you're gonna lose some of that, because you really ain't gonna be focused on that with all the other ills that you got to go through, making it to school. These guys, then you got to ride through these guys.
Oh,
and,
you
know what I'm saying?
I was talking to my buddy Jimmy from Foster Park. I would sneak Jimmy to my crib. We would be looking down the alley, cuz, all right, well, I'm gonna make it clear, y'all. I'm a gangster disciple. This brother, I was a growth and development back in the day, and he was one of the brothers. Now, the thing about it was the love that we have for each other as far as the way the brothers came. I would sneak my homie down the alley. We would all be lined up down the alley. I'd be looking for my guys, and I'd be like, Jimmy, okay, you could come now. And Jimmy come running down the street and run up the alley and run in the basement. This happened. So look, this is what I'm gonna say. Your friends, look, these cats right here, we don't see each other a lot, but we inseparable. Indeed. So when we speak about father issues, I had mine, you had yours. I can honestly say my daughter had her with mine. And I think with me, I was an adolescent and I learned, and my father kept telling me, don't have kids when you're young because you're not ready. And fuck, I did the shit. And fuck. And there's so many fucking drawbacks off that shit. Kids don't like you, be mad at you and shit. So all them niggas out there, you saying fuck them kids and your kids' mama, cool. You better take your ass over there because them motherfuckers get big. Oh, they gonna want to fuck you up.
Let's tone down the
program. I'm thinking I'm on Rue Radio.
Let's keep it PG. You know what I'm saying? But you definitely touched on it in a real way.
Yeah.
And you got to understand that your experience led you to where you are right now. Just the same as my experience led me to where I am. So just touching on what we're talking about is daddy issues. It transcends male, female,
dude,
you know, and just some of the psychological effects that it has on you.
And if you're not around strong-minded people, this is why I'm going to say I love my guys that I grew up with. If you're not around a strong-minded set of people, you ain't going to make it through it. And we made it through by the skin of the hairs of our chinny chin chin. This brother here.
The Most High did that. We got to give praise to the Creator.
Bro, we done been on the porch together and a dude come out the gangway and just crazy stuff. And we go back and continue talking. Those conversations and them late night conversations that was on Laughing was very good with parents.
Vital, man.
So now I looked at Father's Day when we was all together. Now this one, I'm gonna say this. While my homies had gripes toward the women on Father's Day.
Really?
Boy, you ain't all them jokes in the back. It wasn't they was bashing women. Ladies, y'all have to realize when me and we get together, we talk. We talk about the big booty, even though if we married. Now, your husband can tell you whatever he wants to say, okay? But men, when we get together, it's man talk. It's locker room talk. It's the real. So we do this thing every year at my man Mark Fat crib. And all the brothers was like, yeah, the baby mamas and ain't no saying happy Father's Day to no women. And I was sitting there looking. It wasn't bad. It was actually funny because everybody got to say they talk their stuff. And we had a lot of supportive Black sisters that was there, serving food and everything. And they just let us enjoy ourselves. Ladies, food for thought. Let your man get out. Don't keep trying to keep him in the crib. Let him get some man time with his homies. You
Well,
know,
that's necessary, especially with what we speaking of now. Because how
yeah,
can we change the dynamic of our community if we
Dude.
don't get together and dialogue?
bro. After this show, right? Me and you go talk. You go probably talk about something with your kids. I'm talking about something with my kids. You go
I
talk
don't
about
have
something.
kids.
You have children.
Thank you, sir.
All right,
Thank you, sir.
and
Appreciate it.
and you gonna say something like, "Damn, I might need to do that with my children."
Indeed.
Trading ideas.
Indeed.
See, they don't know. Look, I got a homeboy, and everybody talk about beating their kids. There's several ways you can punish kids.
Oh yeah.
Look, instead of beating your child, just go to the school and tell their friend that they pee in the bed.
You stupid, bro.
Hey,
crazy.
I had
You
one
crazy.
dude on Facebook. He gave his son a reverse mohawk and made him go to school.
Oh no.
It was this one dad, but these are dads because we boys will take over. That's why dads are very, very vital.
Indeed.
Before your son turn into a killer and this and that, your daddy there, oh, you want to be a killer? Oh, that's when you hear all that food. Now mama running there, don't kill my baby. Woman, shut up.
That's a problem too. Like mama got to play her position.
Stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane, man. Because if I'm disciplining them, it's a reason. I'm doing it out of love.
Mothers provide
I'm not
love,
gonna hurt.
fathers provide the toughness. But we have to
Love is what
stay on the fence.
it got to be a balance, man. It has
Mothers
to be
just
a
stay on
balance.
love. Fathers, we on that damn fence. We balancing. We damn, I don't want to fall this way. And at the end of the day, a real father is never their friend with a child's friend.
Of course.
Facts.
Where you get that at?
You smoking
Most-
weed with your son?
You're a
Yeah.
sucker. If you smoke weed with your son and he assure you you're a sucker, okay? That shouldn't be happening. You got to keep a level of respect between. It should be like a separation of adult and child, period. And that's another place we fail at. So let me get off into some of these daddy issues that we had growing up.
Uh-oh.
So as a child, you not having a father around, you're more likely to have aggressive behavior and quick to anger. And psychological studies show that. Okay. And that's true. Because again, I could speak from my own circumstance, how I had rage. So I'm ready to box anybody. We gonna shoot, whatever.
You was
And
with
that
whatever.
may be some of them issues that our young men
Them
dealing with
Calumet
today.
days.
You know what I'm saying?
With you?
Oh yeah, I was in it.
Y'all
Well,
see
I
him
could say-
now.
I could say
He's
him-
very presentable. Y'all seen this man back in the day.
Oh,
See,
man.
kids call children
Children. There you
youth.
go, bro.
call themselves gorillas. We was calling ourselves gorillas back in the day. He was
Indeed.
a gorilla on that.
Indeed.
Like I'm gonna keep it 100. So, and we was talking about this earlier when we went to the store. This another thing, especially with the older brothers, and we speaking about being a father. Y'all hear me when I say this. Stop talking at the youth. Talk to them. I got so many, I'm not going to say it on Facebook, but shorties that'll kill for me. But before I had them go out and kill for me, I be telling them about a job. I be telling them about, look, bro, you going to make it. That positive input with young black men and white men too as well, and Mexican men as well, it means a lot. We just lost
Indeed.
a little young man. What was his name? When he turned around and dropped the gun, the police shot him.
Oh, the Puerto Rican cat. The
Yeah.
young guy.
Now, this
I
is the
forget his
thing.
name.
We talking about blacks, right? But I'm going to tell y'all, look me in the face. I'm looking in the camera. My white brothers, my Mexican brothers, my Asian brothers, my Haitian brothers. These are our babies out here. That boy was 13 years old and stood like 6'6". That was somebody's baby. His daddy was sick because his baby got hit. I don't want to be in a position where my child dies before me. 13, I don't care what nationality he was. He was somebody's baby. Facts. So we speaking on fatherhood. See, Madman can attest. Something happened to one of his babies. He tell me one day, oh boy, you better get that gun. He don't know I got it already, but you better get that banger. you got all these girls around here. I'm looking mad like that's father. That's dad.
Indeed.
That's daddy.
Indeed.
You know, we have to change the trend that was set before us and just make things better. And I believe in changing the trend is by leading by example. You go to work every day.
Indeed. But you can go to work every day, provide for your home, do all those things, and you're not sharing any dialogue with those children. Again, you're not having that father experience. You're not having that daddy experience. Because anybody can be a father. Any man can, use the fluids in his body to create life. A daddy is gonna be there. He's gonna instill certain elements into his child, and he's gonna get the most out of that child because he has expectations for his seed, the seed which he bears. So ultimately, if you don't apply yourself, regardless of you working that job,
I'm listening.
You're gonna have to be able to share dialogue to impart something in that child. And we all fall short of the glory.
Well,
don't get me wrong, but
it's like this box right here.
You have to participate. That's it.
It's like this box right here. This is that. If you don't put nothing in that box can show that's your child. If you don't put nothing in that box, you can't expect that box to blow off or to be something spectacular because you didn't put nothing in that box. You steady buying this box Jordans. Jordan is just all around here. You buying this box, all this other stuff. But those conversations and those I love yous and those hugs and those, are you all right? I went through this with my daughters and man, I didn't know. And it make you want to correct the past.
You can't.
Yeah.
You can't go back and correct, but you can start from the point that you at and say, look, this is where I'm going to bear down at. This is what needs to be done. Let's put the rebellion to the side because we've all rebelled. You rebelled against your Mr. Hill, Miss Hill. I can remember a time. I rebelled against my mom. Just an example, telling me don't go to that party.
And
they already, and I went, and guess what happened?
The stuff that she said that was gonna happen.
Stop it, man. And
she said this gonna happen, this gonna happen, this gonna happen.
And it happened.
I'm going.
I'm going. Happened.
As soon as everything happened that she said was going, and it happened in place, you like, damn. I used to go through that. Can I say this? A parent hates to be right with their child.
No, they don't.
No, I'm gonna say right because you could tell your child, I don't want you to go to that party because it's dangerous, and your child don't never come home. That's what I mean on you hate to be right.
But you see, that's why that wisdom is more valuable than anything. That's what the Most High's word said. Wisdom is more valuable than precious rubies.
Take that proper stop off.
Let me say this.
Take the proper. No, I'm saying so they can hear you because they can't hear you. Your words are very important.
Let me say this though. That wisdom takes you a long way. So you don't have that wisdom, you're going to be making certain decisions that won't allow you to grow, okay, at all. You'll stay stuck in the same place. You can get that wisdom at 15, you ain't paying attention. You'll be in that same place mentally.
You know, we used to do that to us,
you know,
Mr. Hudson.
Hold on. So with that wisdom, man, that's how you acquire the knowledge and understanding when you get that wisdom. Get that wisdom first, get the knowledge and understanding of how we need to operate. So again, going back to us being men who break the cycle with our own children,
right,
is because you apply the wisdom from your own life and experience, and you know you want something better for your children, so you pass it on.
Well, you know where that come from. That is the stories you talk to your kids about. Like I catch my daughter in the kitchen, and you could say some real serious stuff to your child and have them rolling, and they be like, "Damn, Daddy, you right." That's what you talking about. The moments when you catch a kid in. Yeah. This the first day of the show, y'all. So me and man, we gonna make it happen.
We making all the technical situations that come up, we trying to evaluate everything from this show. So going forward, we'll have all our eggs in one basket.
I totally see that. See, I should have kept this mic. See,
No,
but I wanted you to have this.
But you ain't give me that mic. You gave me
No,
this.
bro, because you was like not close to it.
Hey, but it's supposed to pick me up wherever I'm at, right?
Hey, look,
You the technician.
man,
This guy, the technician guy, DJ Rue.
Yeah.
DJ Rue, the technician guy. He's supposed to be able to
Hey,
put
we've
things
been
in place
arguing.
that we don't have to keep leaning into the mic.
We've been
where you can
arguing
be
since
heard.
I was 14.
Never
So
argue.
never mind us.
Never argue.
Okay,
Maybe
debate.
There you go.
Hey, we used to be up late. Look, see, I'm finna throw it out there. We used to be up late night, and his sister didn't know. We'd be debating like a mother, but I always kept a good relationship with his sister, and I ain't let him know. Like, I love her
You
very
ain't letting
much.
me know. I love your sister too.
No, not like that. I know y'all love my sister a
Hey.
lot when she moved in the neighborhood, Negro.
Hey,
You and Jay
Hey,
and
stop
Mr.
it,
Evans
Hey,
and Jerry. God
that's
bless
another
your
show,
sister.
y'all. That's another show. We ain't about to get
They
into
love
that
my
right now.
sister a lot.
We ain't about to get into that right now, bro.
But the thing about it was we got trained with respect. Like, we would cheat on. We would have 30 females when we was younger, but not
He's speaking
one.
for himself right now.
No, when we was younger, yeah,
He's speaking for
But-
himself, people.
we would respect them. You wouldn't even know you got cheated on because we was respectful, opening doors and all that. We got 30 of y'all, and all 30 like, I am the one. Yeah.
Stupid.
See, brothers don't know when you do all that disrespectful stuff. The ladies do not want to deal with you. Now, this day and age, I think is different.
But where it come from?
Us,
Where we
it
come
has to
from.
be the teaching.
Well,
Something.
that's all it boils down to, man. Because I mean, who did you learn how to be? How did you learn how to be a man? You didn't learn
My
from yourself. You ain't
father-
learn from yourself.
My
So you
father and
either
a
if
lot
you
of other
weren't
people.
taught, you emulated certain things that you saw
Yeah,
from a male.
I totally agree. Yes, I did.
Now, unless you on the other side, maybe you watch the female and you learn from her. You know what I'm saying?
I
and
think
no slight.
That's a whole
no
nother
slight-
show, bro.
It is, but no slight to them either. I mean, if you choose a certain thing for your life, that's you. You have one to answer to. That's your lifestyle. Okay. So we want to make that clear. We ain't discriminating against you. If that's what you choose to do with your life, hey, that's your life.
Facts.
At the same time, though, we want to build up our community. So let's build it up. It's not based off of your sexual preference or none of this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's based off the psychology of how you can grow and be a productive member of
Mhm.
society, period.
Dude. This is what I've told my daughters from, I'm talking about, well, the little one, she don't know it, but my 21-year-old and my 17-year-old, I still always be on them, and I'll be like, you will become a productive member of society. I use those exact words. So I've gotten to the point where, like you said, man, the kids need direction.
Well, again, we gonna
But
change
you ain't
that
got no
term.
father, and it's the mother taking the brunt of everything.
Can the
taking
mother
the
be a
kids to
father?
school.
Can the mother be a father? I said, we gonna celebrate single mothers. All right, we celebrate
well-
you. You're doing the best you could do working these jobs because my
No, a
mom
mother
worked 2
can
jobs
be a
at the
father
same time. No, a mother
but-
cannot be a father.
through masonry,
A mother cannot be a father.
right? I mean,
Everybody, the Most High don't make mistakes. Everybody has a role to play in here. Now, a mother can't get herself pregnant without the help of science, in vitro, or whatever. that
no, but I
circumstance
agree
is.
with you. A
But-
mother can't be a father.
A mother cannot be a father.
You know why? A mother can teach a daughter, but a mother can't teach a son. You can teach him how to piss.
I disagree with you.
No, you
I
were the
disagree with
product of that. But what I'm saying is, it's certain things a son gonna learn from a man in the streets or in a institution where it's to the point where it's a school, it's something. he's going to get a lot of manly qualities from. You see what I'm saying?
Let's interject. Especially
Look,
not today.
No,
Rule.
I'm gonna say this.
Rule, not
your mama
today.
raised you. Who made you tough?
Rule, not today.
Or who gave you that guidance? Just think about
my mom gave me some guidance. I'm OG, a crucial
but who
lady.
was that dude?
She a crucial lady, but she took on masculine
Who was that
energy.
one dude?
She took on masculine energy that wasn't her because she's a female, and you should be feminine, being female.
I got
now. Hold on, let me.
I want.
finish.
Hey,
let me.
Can
finish.
I do this? I want to let you keep talking. I'm gonna hook the other mic up, and I'm listening to you. And y'all, like I say, this is the first day of our show, so
indeed.
So I want to hook him up with the other mic and listen to him too as well. Cause I'm gonna tell y'all something, and I'm not finna make it long. This brother gave me some guidance, and
all praise to the Creator.
During the time that I did the fuck boy shit, that ain't my baby, and all that old goofy ass shit. I was 16.
Let's stop the profile.
No, okay, but he gave me guidance. I would talk to you.
Indeed.
When my daddy probably went through an episode, I would talk to you.
Indeed.
So it's brothers connecting with brothers.
No question. No question.
Let me get on that.
And at the same time, that what Rue said is heartfelt. All right. But again, I'm gonna reiterate: a woman cannot be a man. I don't care how much masculine energy you exude, you can never be a man. Now, you can impart something into a child, and that's why it takes two people to have children. It takes two people to raise children. I don't like to separate and say, well, a mother can tell a daughter something, but she can't tell a boy something, or a son something. Or a father could tell a daughter something, but a son something, but he can't tell a daughter nothing. That's garbage. Okay, that is not the reality of the circumstance. There are two roles that need to be played: a male role and a female role. And now both of them imparting something in those children together, having a certain foundation, will allow that child to thrive. Okay, so you can't have one without the other. Now, of course, sometimes children rebel, and you're gonna have that. But at the same time, if you impart something in that child, they're gonna eventually come back to what you imparted in them. They're gonna eventually step back to that and say, you know what, my mom and dad said this. When they encounter certain situations that they really can't get out or overcome, they're gonna sit back and say, ponder, my dad said that, or my mom told me this. So that way you can maneuver around whatever those circumstances are. Like I said, it takes two to make the child. It's going to take two to raise them in the right manner. Now, a man can't play a woman's role, and a woman can't play a man's role, even though we had these situations to now where so many young men are being killed. And we're seeing a lot of young ladies commit gun violence these days as well. So if you had the element of a real man in the home with their children, do you think we can offset that violence streak in our young people? I believe so, because like the psychological studies state, most teens growing up without a father, they're going to deal with depression and emotional issues. They may deal with low self-esteem. They have the effects of doing poorly in school. Most times that you don't have that element, you may be incarcerated or commit suicide, or just, fatherless children going through so much that they shouldn't have to go through. So, at what point do we say, you know what, let's get together as a community, because it takes a village to raise a child, first of all. Secondly, if you don't have those elements of some type of masculine man in your life, like you see a lot of athletes that may have a coach, that coach gives them discipline to be able to go and be the best athlete they can be. That's what a father should provide. Those are elements a father should provide to his child, having discipline and understanding how you affect the lives of children. So, the daddy issues can take us a long way, as we see right now. You got young ladies like me as a father. I don't want my daughters to present themselves as, prostitutes. Don't come out showing your form. I mean, leave something to the imagination. That's my thing. Yeah, in my past, shit, you got on the stretch pants or whatever the case, and you got your stomach out. Yeah, I'm gonna talk to you because you got a nice body. I see how you present yourself. At the same time, would I make you my wife? Probably not. Probably not. I'll probably look at the fact that, okay, we'll have fun together. You know,
Put the pop stop on there.
we'll just have fun. We're not gonna pursue any lifelong commitments. So that's just my idea of the whole thing. Um, you know, and most times that's what takes place. Again, we as young men and elder statesmen, whatever you want to call it, we have to affect the lives of those children that we can get. Like again, I'm gonna reiterate, it takes a village to raise a child. So
Lord knows that's
if
the
you
truth.
don't have that there, sometimes you're gonna be, subsequent to do some things that you shouldn't do. And it shouldn't take you to be incarcerated to think about, man, why did I do that? Why did I make that decision?
Hey, bro,
You know
I
what I'm
got
saying?
something to tell you. It was some young brothers from our block. So I go up to the pawn shop and I had to get some stuff out the pawn because I was low on money and I got the stuff out the pawn that I pawned, got it back. So these young dudes robbed this one dude, get on the block, shorted him like, dude, them up there. We finna go spray them up. You had rolled up, but you rolled off. You had that little Chevy truck at the time. So when you rolled off, they like shit, go get the guns. I'm like, bro, first and foremost, your grandma in the house. Second of all, you going up there because they robbed the older dude. I understand your demeanor, what's going on. But you go to jail, how you gonna help your house? I'm like, y'all just got on that quick as hell. I talked them out of doing that. I ain't gonna say who it was.
Listen.
I'm like, bro, you gonna do that? Your grandma in the house sick. The house that had just caught on fire, I believe. You know what I'm talking about? I'm like, nah, bro, don't do that. It wasn't no, you ain't finna do that. It was, bro, don't do that. Your grandma in the house. See, you see the terminology? See, now I'm getting in your head. That's that's the way we was taught. Now I'm gonna say this: it's not enough brothers out here in the neighborhood. People love they guys from the neighborhood, but you know who good for you from the neighborhood, who bad for you.
Right.
Just think about it. Well, we was at on Father's Day, right?
Indeed.
How many of them shady dudes seen come through there? They
Oh,
don't.
you know what though? We had a lot of. You might not have paid attention. We had a lot of shady dudes because
But
ultimately they didn't bring anything. We were celebrating at the same
it
time,
was
but
celebrating
had some type of
fatherhood.
courtesy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You had to have some type of courtesy and etiquette, man. Because most guys these days, you ain't got that. You gonna just take what you can take. You more selfish. You ain't gonna give too much of nothing. So I
Yeah.
mean, you got to have a certain level of etiquette, man.
Dude, I'm gonna say this one more time. 80th and Laughlin, God, Allah put his hands on that block
No
because we
question.
are much different. Saturday night, I look at me, Chip, you, Starsky, Mario, Stan, the whole squad. We got sisters too as well that we love very much. Tamara, Tamika, your whole family. Just we are still a family there
No question.
and very supportive. But the thing about it is, a lot of times we supported ourselves and you ain't even know it, bro. Like I said, when Tatiana was born and I was on some Duff stuff, boy, you be like, boy, hey, look, because look, way before his sister and I had my daughter, he was always a big brother. So he like nigga, he wanted to kick my ass.
My
So
sister wasn't ready for that, man.
yeah,
And you weren't either. You know what I'm saying?
we was kids.
Right. Y'all was goats.
We boy. I look at the
Hey.
decisions I made. So horrible. Like before today, I took my dad to the hospital, right? My sister called me. She said, Daddy said he can't breathe. So I'm like, I got to make some money today. I'm like, so why you calling me? Then I stopped and I called my wife. I said, babe, my daddy said he can't breathe. Like, what you would do? She was like, stop everything. And I said, yeah. And then common sense kicked in. Everything just stopped. Go get daddy, take him to where he need to go, make sure he good. And I had to apologize to my sister because I can be a cold-hearted person, and sometimes it don't acquire, or
Let me say this too. You need to apologize to yourself too, man. You know why?
Well, I did that.
Because it shouldn't even take you to call your wife and ask you what you should do in that time and moment to make sure your father got the
Can I
adequate
say
care.
this? You said the key thing. You said the key thing. Hold on, before you go further.
That shows why, again, a father participating is very important.
But you said the key thing. A father can live in the house and be there and not be there.
Indeed.
If you bringing that money in, say like, I had to stop at that moment. Money stops. Dad. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm so focused on taking care of my family and making sure the rent paid, making sure this paid, making sure that paid. But I miss out on the big things. You feel me? So that woke me up. Like, that's your daddy, you dumbass. Sorry for cut. But that's your daddy. Look, dude, everything stopped.
Indeed.
And then my wife wanted me to take my daughter somewhere. And I said, babe, I ain't being sarcastic. Everything just stopped. I got to go check on my daddy. I was out the door 2 minutes later, 15, 16 minutes later, had him, and we headed to the hospital. But I had to think about it, that I'm so driven on getting the money, but I'm getting the money for a reason, for my family.
Indeed, and that's admirable. But at the same time, you got to balance that out. Because,
it's very hard.
It's very hard. Ultimately, man, we got to come out of being our mamas. Because most of us
can't say that.
You got to, because women are more emotional.
Boy, you got to fight yourself, man.
But how do you get to yourself? That's the whole thing. You ain't just jump and be at the age you are and say, I'm myself. No.
Right.
These are things that you took from your childhood that allowed you to become this adult. So, I mean, if you ain't taking those things and filtering those emotions and doing certain things that will allow you to grow psychologically, spiritually, physically, mentally, then you're going to stay in a certain place. Our mamas and women are more emotional.
Bro.
So when you're dealing with that emotion, now I come step on your feet, right? We outside at the block party. I step on your shoe. You got on some crispy ones. Man, what you step on my... Pardon me, bro. I ain't mean to do that. And you continue to make an issue out of it. Those are most characteristics of women. And I'm not trying to be male chauvinist or biased, but most of those characteristics present themselves in women. So let's stop being our moms. You know what I'm saying? Let's start to, at this point, be the man that we're supposed to be. You know? Because if you're not being that man, then you're going to lack. So let's start doing those things. If you're not, then you full of it, man. You leaving all the elements in your life to just continue to be a female or exude female characteristics. And again, I am not trying to demean any women. I love you. You know what I'm saying? I love my mom for what she's imparted in me. But at the same time, I lose because there was not the consistent male influence. So I thank her for what she's given me. I thank my uncles, people around me from the neighborhood that allowed me and showed me, look, a man is this, a man is that. You know what I'm saying? A man takes care of certain things. A man presents himself in a certain way. Even though those things weren't consistent like they should have been. But They were pertinent to my life. They've allowed me not to
Hold on,
spend
Mr. Evans.
time in the penitentiary, not to be 6 feet under. So, I commend those men who imparted those things in me
Hey,
that allowed me to grow
man.
and be a man.
You want to hear something? We talking about the block, and we talking about our brothers and being supportive. My best friend Robert Hudson is in town, and he heading to the studio now.
Twan.
Twan here.
Twan.
So we got Laquan Flowers.
My man.
I'm talking about, look, when we speak
My
about
man.
we was around brothers that was very supportive. We supported each other when our dads wasn't here, or we went through this, or we went through that. And I feel blessed to be a part of the neighborhood I grew up in. So I got my best friend Twan on the phone, y'all. Twan, say what up. And this is the thing what we talking about currently right now. How we can be strong as fathers, and how fathers, the lack of fathers being in the household, the effect that it has on young men and young ladies. Go ahead, Twan. You on live?
What up?
Go ahead.
Oh, I was fortunate enough to have my dad and my mom's in the same household with me. So, to be able to learn a lot from them and, flourish, and that's what it's about. You got both your parents around, or even you just got one and they, stick with you and make sure you're doing all the right things. You just hope and pray that everything turns out right. And I mean, I could say a lot, but we was fortunate enough to be raised not only by our mothers and fathers, or just a mother or a father, but the whole neighborhood. And we don't have that nowadays. Some of the kids out now, they don't have the mother or the father, or if they do got the mother or the father, it's usually one of them, and they run wild. So it just takes not just a one person, but a whole village to raise a family or to raise a child. Period.
Yeah.
Indeed.
I totally
That's
agree.
real. Hey, I want to read something real quick. It's called the Father Code. It's a letter to a fatherless daughter. All right. It says, every father wants to be in his daughter's life. What do I say to someone who feels that her heart has been literally ripped out of the cavity of her chest? What can I say to ease the deep pain of a shattered heart? A pain that reverberates through your soul. A pain that greets you every morning when you wake up. The deep hurt that was inflicted upon you was unintentional. There are two people in pain, you and your father. Every daughter wants and needs to hear her father whisper, I love you. 3 words that affirm her. 3 words that tell her she matters. Had you heard those words from her during your journey from childhood to womanhood, it would have made a positive impact upon your life. Every father wants to be in his daughter's life. The decisions and mistakes that your father made robbed him of the chance to love and care for you. He is wrestling with the decisions and the mistakes made as a young man that made it difficult, if not impossible, for him to love, nurture, and mentor you. He is wrestling with the fact that he was not there to hear you talk about your first day of school, to plan birthday parties for you, and watch you blow out the candles on your birthday cakes, and to watch you blossom into the beautiful woman that you've become. And yes, you are a beauty within a beauty, not without. Circumstances and decisions beyond your control and which you had nothing to do with, preventing him from telling you how much he loved you and affirming you. Why is he pushing you away? But that was the past. Let's talk about now, today. If you think your father does not think about you, does not love you, does not recognize your existence, you are wrong. I understand that you cannot see or believe this. Your father loves you and cares about you deeply. And when he thinks and speaks about you, his eyes sparkle and a smile illuminates his face. So why doesn't he show it? Why does he act as if you don't exist? Why is he pushing you away? Because he does not know how to tell you that he loves you and cares about you deeply. Your father wants to be a part of your life. He just does know how to do that. You will have to teach him how to do that. While you and your father cannot change the past, the two of you can do something about the present and the future. I know that you are hurting, but you must find it within your heart to forgive him. Forgiveness is not about him, it is about you. Forgiveness is your path to healing, to fulfilling your destiny on this earth, and to being the vibrant, brilliant, and beautiful person that you truly are. Forgiveness is the path to helping your father become a part of your life, something that you both desperately want and need. There's a void in your life and in your father's life. He needs you just as much as you need him. If you want your father in your life, it will be up to you to go get him and bring him into your life. Find him, send him an email, call him, tell him that you forgive him, that you love him, that you need him, and that he needs you. If he does not answer, don't pull away. Flood his mailbox with birthday cards, Father's Day cards, and Valentine's cards, and I love you, Dad notes. Continue to shower him with telephone calls, voicemail messages, text messages, email messages, and tweets. Tell him, I forgive you, Dad. I love you. I need you, and I am here for you. And that's 1,000 words. I mean,
Hey, yo,
what more can be said?
That in itself speaks volumes. You know,
Man, touching.
a lot of times, and I will say this, and I'm not gonna bust my sisters upside the head. I'm not with bashing my sisters, but y'all put us through some challenging situations, and we have to overcome them. And at the same time, take our pride and put it in our pocket.
Indeed.
So a lot of times, being a dad, it's not easy, but God made us strong and he made us men for a reason.
Yes, sir.
Strong don't consist of muscles. A lot of times, strong can consist of a big ass brain, and you have to stop and think.
Yes, sir.
So, I believe that women play a role and men play a role, but as well, we got so much negativity infesting our neighborhoods. It's not just black neighborhoods. It's white neighborhoods, Mexican neighborhoods, Puerto Rican neighborhoods. And we losing fathers like black men. We the lowest man on the totem pole, right? And I don't know how we gonna get up out of it. I don't know how we gonna get our sisters back. I don't know how we gonna gain our kids back. But I do know Allah, God, Jesus Christ, Jehovah Jireh. I promise you got us. I don't know. I don't see no light at the end of the tunnel, but I do know just through faith that it will work out. And
Operative word. Operative word. I mean, you sound really like you in despair with the circumstance, but you said a key word, faith. I mean, you got to have faith. And what is faith without works? So if you got the faith, you got to put some work in it. You know what I'm saying? We got to come together and say, look, this is what we're going to build. We're going to build this coalition that's going to allow us to change the dynamic of what's happening here. Now, it may just start with Laughlin. And pretty much Laughlin is cool. So it may have to start with Bishop.
yeah,
And then from Bishop to Ada
bro,
or the Truth.
I'm gonna say
You know what I'm saying?
three.
So it has to take place at some
Speak, my
point.
brother.
It got to be maybe it
Speak.
starts with 5. Okay, maybe it starts with 5 to go over here and touch the 10 lives that's on this block.
Oh,
And you're not going to get the mass populace right away. Okay, because there's too many elements that won't allow us to thrive.
can I say something, bro?
You know what I'm saying?
I
So
just-
hold on. Those men that are cognizant of what's taking place and who have a backbone and that are fearless, then we can make certain situations
Look,
change.
bro, you just hit it on the head. We was talking about our godson, right? And you straight, you didn't check him. You just told him, no, man, that ain't what's up. That's
Indeed.
what's needed. When these young men have respect for you, they actually listen to you. See, once again, this is the difference. Stop trying to talk at these young people and talk to them. And when you talk to them, it's a big, gigantic difference. I'm gonna let Mad take the mic. I'm gonna see if I can go on Block Business Radio. Y'all seeing us on YouTube. I'm going live on my Facebook channel. Now I'm about to see if I can go in on Block Business Radio. It's spelled BLOK space BIZNESS. But the topic that we're talking about is fathers.
Daddy issues.
Man.
Daddy
So
issues.
can I ask you to one more time?
Yes, sir.
Read that again, because sometimes people be so slow. Once again, his brother, he's speaking about an issue that affects everybody. If we don't have strong black fathers, that means we breed in a society of killers. And our kids are everywhere. We got intelligent black brothers, we got intelligent black sisters, and they young. But we also have the younger people that don't think that they life don't matter. One of my daughter's friends told me that I'm not thinking about tomorrow, I'm thinking about today. And for a young person to say that, that kind of effed up.
Indeed. Indeed. I mean, man, you know what? You know, one of my good people that I know, very intellectual young lady, she told me the present is a present. The present that we're living in is a present. Okay. Now how much of a realistic statement is that? The present is a present. Because if you ain't living in this time, man, and you ain't utilizing it to the best of your ability, then it can't be a gift to you.
Well, a lot of times this is the thing, and I'll agree with that quote. The present is the present. It is what it is. That's, to make a long story short, you gotta adjust to it. If you can't, it's just like you a rap artist. I'm a DJ.
I'm a hip hop artist. Let's get
Hip hop artist, big
Right.
difference too, by the way.
Indeed.
But if you can't adjust to the times, you hip hop all day. If you can't present the same message that you've been presenting and put it in an up-to-date way, you know what I'm saying? Like, I heard your music, I still play your music from years ago, and I love it. But then the up-to-date music, you adjustable. You like a tool. You like a ratchet, or not a ratchet. I would say, what's the tool they use to fix plumbing? You adjustable. You adjusting yourself.
Wrench,
So yeah,
ice grip.
yeah. So now the times went like this, you adjusting yourself like that. Now the times went like this, you adjusting yourself like that. That's the key element, is adjustment. And it's just not related to music. As far as being a father,
It's life.
it's I look at things as in a broad way.
Indeed.
So, it may, something that may look small to somebody else, I look at it in a bigger way. Black women, society say black women got a smart mouth, in which in certain cases is true. Now, but the thing about that is, all black women is not like that. But I've been through situations where I've had to deal with an angry black woman, and in certain situations, it's just not what's that word they use? When they say all black people eat chicken, all white people, stereotypes.
Stereotype. Well, let me say this. I don't want a black woman that has a dumb mouth. I'd rather you have a smart mouth, but I'd rather you not be masculine. I'd rather you be feminine. So
You
that
can have a smart
so
mouth and
that you
think.
know. Well, we going with words. So that's why I say a smart. When you say you got a smart mouth, I don't want you to have a dumb mouth.
Yeah.
Okay? I want you to have a smart mouth, but at the same time, I want you to be feminine. I don't want you to be challenging me as a masculine woman or trying to be masculine, because that's not a part of your genetic makeup. So be feminine, of course. You know what I'm saying? That's everybody has a role to play. Okay. None of us are gonna play those roles 100%, but you can have the ability to grow and learn from each other. Again, we've all been traumatized in certain ways. Man, they were just shooting fireworks. Okay. So those fireworks were being popped off. Man, you got people shaking and jumping like, man, I hate this. I don't like that. I don't like fireworks because again, I've been around so many shootouts and all this craziness with guns or whatever. Uh, Paranoid, I'd say, and the meaning of paranoid is heightened sense of awareness. So I wouldn't use paranoia in a place of me being fearful. It's just that you've been through so much post traumatic stress that when those things take place, it's like damn, like man, you know, and it affects you in a certain way. Um, Again, just going off of what DJ Rue said, I love the sisters. I love people, period. You know what I'm saying? The human experience is magnificent. At the same time, I'll reiterate, we all have roles to play. A woman brings something to the table, a father brings something to the table. When we match that energy, then we get the most out of whatever that creation is. And upon matching that energy and imparting the things we need to impart into our children, it allows them to be productive in their lives. Now, again, you will rebel. You might get some instances of children rebelling. At the same time, when that energy is matched, like yin and yang, female, male energy, and you had a common goal to create a better existence for your child. And again, by imparting those things in those children or that child or children that would allow them to thrive, you get better results. Again, I can go from my own experience dealing with the rage and anger, um, dealing with the not being self-assured, uh, the lack of, motivation. All these things play a part in your life when you don't have that consistent male element. It really plays a part. So those are those things are needed. Period. And a woman has a role to play. A man has a role to play. Merging our efforts will allow things to be in a better place. At this time in our community, like we're from Chicago, so we know the dynamic and what's taking place here. We know why they're taking place. Again, most boys act like their moms. You know what I'm saying? They don't have a father to act like. And I can attest to that myself because I can reflect. Shit, I was acting like my mom, being emotional. Oh man, you said something to me. Just because you said a word, you ain't put your hands on me. You ain't really do nothing harmful. Words hurt. That's crazy. Words hurt. Nah, that's the dumbest thing I ever heard. I can go back to the analogy: sticks and stones break my bones, but words never hurt. Man, you hit me with something or you put your hands on me, that's another element. But because you said something to me, you might have called me a female dog. Now I'm ready to fight you. That's the stupidest thing I ever heard. So it had to grow to that point. I had to grow to that point. It just didn't come overnight because, again, was there consistent male energy that said, look, you need to be able to say, or you need to be able to operate in the space that allows you to operate, that these words don't define who you are.
Very well said. Hey, and I don't mean to cut you off, man. We broadcasting on several platforms. So now we on YouTube. We are about to go on my Facebook page. You need to put your phone on there too. Yeah. Hey man, look, me and Madman D get together.
We all under investigation.
We all under investigation. Hey, we are most definitely with the movement of the neighborhood and just keeping things going and just being positive. I have a show on Block Business Radio, BLOK space BIZNESS. And I speak about this all the time. All I want to see is positivity. Now, by that being said,
You're listening to the Block Business DJs.
oh yeah, so now we about to go on the radio. What's up, everybody? It's your boy, the DJ Rue. I'm in the building, the first day of the podcast with my man's Madman D.
Yes,
You're
sir.
listening to the Block Business DJs Radio.
Our topic today, currently, right now, we are talking about
Daddy issues.
daddy issues. That means the young man, the young lady, and what can we do in our community to combat the lack of dads. You know what I'm saying? You hear kids all the time saying, "You ain't my daddy," and they need a daddy.
Well, look, if I could provide you with something, if I'm providing you with something, then I mean, you might not have came from my loins, but if I'm providing, I'm your daddy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm your daddy. I don't need to hear none of the extra. You know, so hey, let's get back to it. You know, again, it takes a village to raise a child.
This is true. This
Hey,
is so true, bro.
Let's operate under those terms. You know, we're gonna be signing out real soon, man, from this live feed. So
No. I
we-
actually like it. Stu said we can be on the radio to 9:30. I think he got somebody coming on.
well, still, come on, man. We've been on here since 7. So,
Bro, we'll talk.
And I know the topic we talking about. We can
It's
go
boy.
for days. We can go for days.
I'm gonna tell
You know?
y'all something one more time. See, I'm just not going on Block Business Radio. This was me when I was 16. The gentleman that's sitting to the left of me, he and his sister, you know, we did our thing. And I was like, I ain't the daddy. And he got my ass. And I'm so glad he got my ass, and my daddy got my ass, and other people. And what we speaking about is daddy issues. And where is it where we're losing? I've went through just by that moment that I just spoke about. My daughter done got angry at me and stuff like that, and my son, and I love them very much. But when you lose that, when you could have been there, you don't want to really be in that position. Now, my daughter loved me and my son loved me. I ain't gonna lie. But, you know, the early age, the adolescent, you know, kids come here and they born. Now, if you 15 and you a kid and you just made a child, shit, nigga, you damn near born too.
Well, I mean, just deal with the reality of it. You
Yeah.
can think. Let's go back to this. Fred Hampton Jr. he was an orator. He was giving speeches at 21 and sounded like he was 40 years old. Okay. Look at the average mind of a 21-year-old right now. And it's like you 14.
Well, I can't say that. I can't say that.
The
I can't.
average 21-year-old
I can't say that.
thinks in the capacity of a 14-year-old.
I can't say that. This is what we now. I'm gonna say this.
Now I'm gonna tell you this because again, that's why participating fathers and mothers who know their position matters. Because at
I
21,
agree.
you will be taught to be more responsible, respectable, and do things that will allow you to continue to grow. Because of the lack of those things, again, you don't apply to being a young adult in that way.
I'm gonna say this where I agree with you, but I disagree. There's a lot of young people that's 21, and I'm gonna say this: during the time we was coming up, my wife's one of her close friends. She was a child of the state, and this is where people don't know. The government, they got programs to help you. And this young lady was a child of the state. I don't know what happened with her or whatever, but she was awarded to the state. She ended up going to school. She ended up going to college. She followed all their rules. And at the end of the day, she ended up working for the city of Chicago. The woman is balling. Now, I'm going to say this. The lack of fathers, yes, we are very, very important. But the thing about it is, you don't want to have to put your child in a situation where this young lady has to do this herself. Now I'm gonna tell you what Mad talking about. She might look good to everybody else, but there's something in her head where she like, damn, she fiending for a parent. You see what I'm saying? A father, like to walk across that stage and you done graduated high school, 8th grade, a basketball game. When your dad is there, that make you want to show your ass.
It gives you that level of confidence. Man.
Boy, what?
But see, we enable our children now. They have a sense of entitlement because, again, we want to keep them safe.
We said that.
We want to
man.
keep them safe. We want to keep them in a place where, you know, we could take care of them and give them all the necessities we feel they need. But what about the life skills? What about the things that empowers them to be independent? We'll put all that on a teacher or a school.
Yeah,
the first
a lot of
teacher
people want
home.
the teacher to raise
The
their
first
child.
teacher is home. So now you should apply yourself, even if you don't have that experience. Y'all hear people say a lot of times, there's no books to educate you about educating children. But at the same time, you use your experience, you use your knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to impart. Hold on.
This dude gangbanging, y'all.
No. It's just certain things that
joking,
apply.
I'm joking.
But you have to use these things in order to, again, impart in your child for them to be productive.
Can I say this?
You can say whatever you want.
Mad, you can say what you want. Look, he was gangbanging. Now,
No, sir, never gangbang.
Let me
Don't
give
listen
y'all-
to him. We peaceful. We
Listen.
peaceful and humble.
No, listen. And the way I'm gonna use it gonna mess your head up. There was a time where if you was a gangster, you was a Blackstone, you wasn't going to school. The neighborhood beat you up. So
Indeed.
there was times at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, there was no young people outside.
Indeed.
Now, when I say he was gangbanging, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding,
No,
they
sir.
put that in our head as far as, and I ain't gonna lie, once again, the neighborhood saved the neighborhood. That's the way I'm gonna put it. Ooh, the neighborhood saved the neighborhood. Because we have fathers there. But guess what? There was times that one of my homies told me, boy, you lucky you got a daddy. I said, man, I'll share my daddy with you. Nigga, you can talk to my daddy about anything. That's what I mean about the neighborhood saving the neighborhood. My daddy, your daddy. His daddy across the street, your daddy too. Hey, Mr. Because this dude out here and he an alcoholic in front of the store, that don't mean you can't get no knowledge from him.
No question. But again, I want to question what you said. The neighborhood saved the neighborhood. If the neighborhood saved the neighborhood,
Not saving,
wait.
talking.
Wait. If the neighborhood saves the neighborhood, why do we have so much of a drug influx in our neighborhood? Why do we have so much of alcoholism in our neighborhood?
That was
Why do we have division between cats that went to school together, but you live over here, you live over here?
Yeah,
But we were in the same class.
I totally agree.
I mean, come on, man. Neighborhood kind of destroyed the neighborhood because lack thereof. Now, we didn't apply ourselves to the capacity to say, you know what, I love this brother based off of he's a brother.
Right.
I'm gonna look out for him. I want him to his well-being to be okay. I'm gonna give him some of the tools I have. Nah, it's like or back then, even back then, you don't want to reach a helping hand.
Nobody
You don't
cares.
want that person on the line.
No, I'm
same
saying
level as you.
nobody cares. That's the issue.
They care about their own.
And like my wife's sister said something, and it made a lot of sense. These children are being desensitized. So you got
Indeed.
games like Grand Theft Auto, and they outside,
Indeed.
and they seeing this dude shoot this dude. So now they getting immune to seeing people getting shot. Now it's not a problem for them to shoot a person.
Indeed.
Like those two kids, the 12-year-old boy and I think the 13-year-old girl. They was white kids. They was children of the state,
white
right?
goats. They was white goats.
Yeah,
Or-
but
or children.
look,
White
they was
children or white
they
goats.
was kids of the state.
They was white children. They was children of the state.
Okay.
Or goats of the state.
This what I mean. Just so annoying.
Hey, we gotta change the dynamic and how we do things. You know
I
what I'm
hear you.
saying?
But
Start with the small.
when
things.
they shot the little girl, The police, they got him on camera. Lord, I do not want to shoot this baby.
Indeed, I saw.
Because it's 13-year-old, 14-year-old kid you shooting at.
Let
They
it
think
let
they-
it have been a melanated person though.
they thinking they in the video game.
Let it have been a melanated
Chop,
person.
chop, chop. It would if there
It
would have
wouldn't
been
have been no prayer.
if it would have been 13-year-old black kids or 12-year-old black kids doing that, we in there, yeah. We're
Gun
coming
down.
in aggressive,
Gun down.
aggressive.
Gun down. So again, there's
Food for thought.
There's a
Damn,
different
brother.
standard. There's a different standard. At the same time, they didn't have any participation from a male.
But the key
in their
thing you
lives.
said, you know what the young black child and those children had in common? They're children.
That's it. That's what it boiled down
But
to.
they was
Hey.
desensitized, bro.
Hey, we're desensitized.
Yeah, because we would hear gunshots. I'm gonna say this, y'all. It was one day we all sitting on the porch. Dude come through the gangway with the gun. Bow, 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 bow. We scattered, and everybody knew strategically how to run because we knew about gunshots and people getting shot in the neighborhood. You remember that day? We was all on that porch, and we scattered. First of all, post-traumatic stress in the black neighborhood. Second of all, we should not know how to do that. And we 16, 17, 18,
You have
19.
to. You have to. Survival tactics. It doesn't matter your age. You
But I'm
need to know
saying
how
we
to
should.
survive. You need to know how to survive. Period. At the same time, though, because we're desensitized because of the movies we watch. See, people try to blame rap and hip hop for a lot of this stuff, and I would take accountability on my past dealings with that.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And the current dealings with that. We're desensitized because of these movies. Because if I could see you and all these killings in the movie, and it's like that don't
These
mean
kids-
nothing. That desensitizes you, man.
Man, these
But-
kids playing a video game now, splatting people's head.
The video game is really kind of, to me, it plays a part. But these movies and this music, because it deals with vibration, it deals with your eyes, the ears are the window to the soul. So if I'm seeing this and I'm hearing this, it's gonna have some type of internal effect on me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So ultimately, I got to turn that off. I got to watch something that's gonna edify me and give me some type of positive elements. You know what I'm saying? To go off of.
This is what I love about this brother. You see, and now I'm gonna say this. It ain't like I was raised by wolves or nothing. Like I made a statement earlier. Man, D, you come in my mama house and they come in my house is the difference. My mother's and my father's house was organized and they kept us in check. And it was a loving place to be. But I do things a little bit different from my mom. You know,
In what way?
Yeah, my
In
way.
what way? Just give me an example.
Actually,
how you do it different.
You know what?
How do you govern your home different from how your father governed his home?
I'm there.
So what you saying your father wasn't there?
My father was there, but he was like what you were speaking about. He was so busy chasing money, trying to pay bills, and those kitchen conversations and stuff like that. You know, that means a lot. So I catch my daughter Adrena get off of work, or if I catch my wife, I'll be like, "Hey, baby." Now I might be in a bad mood, but I still be like, "Hey, baby," and I smack my wife on the butt, and then I'll be like, "Kiss the kid."
You getting too graphic.
No, I'm dead serious. When your kids see that dad loves mom, that brings the house together. I read a book by T.D. Jakes, Loose the Man and Let Him Go. And it had me crying because it described a lot of me, and it broke down every black man. He had a segment in the book talking about how we got to put this big masculine thing on. We already born to be tough. We killers, we'll do it. But we also have a soft side.
Again, got two parents, a mother and a father. A feminine mother is going to have that nurturing side. So those things are going to be imparted in you anyway.
Mm.
At the same time, no one is born tough.
Well,
No
you know
one
what
is
I
born-
mean. You know,
right. So I mean, these are things that we pick up along the way. So ultimately, you got to shake certain things about yourself. Now, if you know you wired a certain way. Now I'm gonna go back because I wanted you to make the comparison between you and your father because you said
Well,
that dynamic was different.
it is
Your
different.
your father had a certain level. When I came in your home, in their home, when you were young, when you was doing the music, whatever, you had to have a certain level of respect. I don't care what he did.
Well, my father,
I
gangster.
don't.
He
doesn't
was.
matter. I'm looking at the masculine
not the
side.
gang.
I don't even look. You came in this house. You're gonna have a level of respect in this house.
You damn
You're
right.
not about to come in there loud. You're not about to come in here and do
You
what you
damn
want to
right.
do. And your mother was loving. Okay, but at the same time, she adhered to what your father said. He set precedence in that house.
Right.
Now we ain't know he was just going to work, and he might have not have said, "Dave, this is what a man do," or whatever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We don't know that. That's your experience. But what we saw from the outside looking in is a solid man.
Well, my
a
dad,
masculine man who had the respect of others. He respected himself.
well, I'm gonna say this: the first day we moved over there, somebody tried to break in his van. Gangster. He bust the whole window out with the 12 gauge. Bloom, 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 bloom. Then he in his drawers. The nigga after he got finished shooting at the brother, he opened the door and chased him down the street with the 12 gauge. Bloom, 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 bloom. He didn't even let up. Bloom, bloom, bloom. We never had a problem at our house. So I'm gonna say this. My dad, there was things he went through at a young age. And I've changed it. And today showed that, and other days. My father tell me he loved me on the regular now. When I was younger, he never said that. He was gangster. I gotta get the money. Ugh. And for my father told me he loved me like I want to say a year or two ago. That was like my wife heard it because I had him on speakerphone. We was like taken aback.
So he never told you he loved you before?
No.
Before then?
No, he just taught me.
Really? So he never said the words, "I love you."
He
Dave.
never said that. He
No.
never said that. But as I got older and we started, like, when I was in my childhood, I was young. But then now we can be able to talk and, man, sit down and really talk. And that was like, damn, like a long time ago, like 15 years ago. Then he told me he loved me like 2 years ago. And my wife started crying. I was like, damn.
You see that? But I mean,
Father could say something, boy, just
change the dynamic. That's a part of what we say in daddy issues. So again, let's go back. He showed you love. He might not have said
but he
those
didn't
words.
say it. But that woman mentality, because he ain't say it, I ain't feel it. See, that's why I
But
feel.
see, that's the emotional
Yeah.
part of you. Because I
That's
can
that
show you
woman
all
side,
day. I can show
yeah.
you all day I love you. I'm gonna break my back for you. Okay. But you want me to hear those words. You alleviate the action.
You taking off
The
once you hear
action,
that?
but actions speak louder than words, right?
Yeah.
So I can say I love you all day and do nothing to show I love you.
Well, that's, and I'm keeping it in mind that we on YouTube, but we on block videos.
But don't curse.
But
Keep the profanity. We wanna be able to take this to different levels.
I don't want to be the dude and keeping it real goes wrong.
We ain't keeping it real. That's some crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? We ain't keeping it real, man. But yeah, we gonna be getting out of here on the YouTube.
Look.
We gonna
I
stay
gotta
on
play
the
this
block business. We gonna stay on the block business.
But you ain't gonna play
But
your song.
we gonna get off the YouTube.
Look,
yeah,
man.
you gonna play my song. We ain't playing no big man on campus, and we ain't playing all that.
It's power in numbers.
No, we ain't playing that neither.
What?
No. We gonna play some.
This
we
what
gonna
I'm
play
talking
some. I
about.
live it.
This what we gonna
play.
beg
I live
to
it.
differ at.
All right.
Madman
live
got hit us.
Appreciate you. Bro. Appreciate you. We appreciate you.
You're listening to the Block Business
I love this
DJs
dude right here,
Radio.
man.
Hey, I love you too, bro.
To have a see, this is one thing too, as far as black people to us with us, we got to engage in conversation. Sometimes let's talk it out. Everything don't need a response. Everything don't need a fight. Everything don't need a F you. Sometimes just shh,
Yep.
be quiet.
Indeed.
You know, I had to learn the hard way on that. You know, I'm gonna keep it 100. One day, I call myself being outside, being tough with my daddy. He slapped me right in my face. I'm like 17 at the time. Call myself being a grown man. This is the aspect when fathers come in, and I've been taught this by my father-in-law, big brothers. You're gonna make decisions as a father, and you're not gonna like them. Tough love. Madman D said it. I got to line on my daddy, call myself being tough. He bop, boop, bop, bop. Nah, I ain't want it. That's that tough love. He taught me to respect boundaries. Now, if you don't have a person like that in your life, you got to get around some people like that, or find some type of outlet, or find some type of place where you can find guidance at. The young men right now, y'all the stuff. Y'all dressing fresh. Y'all getting y'all education on. Like the new thing with the younger dudes, they going to college and they.
That's good business. But we gotta stop killing each other, man.
Well,
We got that's a topic we could talk about. I celebrate those young guys that's making a leap and furthering their education and getting out of the hood and doing that. But it's too many killings, bro. Especially here. Like
it
it's too
started
many.
with me and you.
There's too many young lives being lost, and that's why we doing this podcast so we could touch on different elements. Grown man shit. Let's raise our level of maturity.
Hey, man, D.
Let me finish.
This is the first day of the podcast. Tell them
raise
people
our
how they
level of maturity so that we can overcome the crap in our hood. Then we can attack these other issues that
y'all
we
hear
had
this.
before.
The man speaking jewels. He dropping jewels. Mic drop, right? Tell them on Block Business Radio, on Facebook Live, on YouTube, how they can follow you on your channel. This is the very first show we did on YouTube.
And this is not the last. We're going to be doing this every Thursday at 7 p.m. Grown Man Podcast. But you can get in tune with me and my joints on Real Madman D on YouTube. You can get me at IG Madman_D_music. You can catch me on Twitter, The Madman D, Facebook, Madman D. You can check out my new joints. You can type in Madman D topics. Okay, you'll get a taste of a few of my new joints. You know, we continuing to grow.
Well,
we continuing to push.
It's about
you know, and at the same time, let me finish.
At the same time, brother.
Oh please, no, it's all it's well, God. At the same time, we want to build awareness. You know, we want to change the dynamic in our community because I don't think there's no place that you live you should have to look over your shoulder to go to the store. I just saw something in New York where this guy was chasing this other guy and shooting, and he ran into these two children, and the young girl tried to protect her brother, and they did. Thank God they didn't get shot. But like to have that make a brazen attack like that is something wrong with you.
That's horrendous.
Because when we were young, if you saw a child out there, we used to say, "Hey man, we can't touch dude till them children go in the crib."
That is crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
This is what bothers me. I'm sorry. I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say. Back in the day, dude would ride down the block, they suited and booted. They ready to shoot you up. Your mama outside, your shorty outside. They like, we gonna go back around. We gonna catch him.
Right.
These people now, and I'm gonna say this, I have no feelings or cares about a person that will kill a child.
You need to be executed.
You need
That's just my opinion. I hope I don't offend anybody.
I totally agree.
If you if you take the life of a child,
A baby,
innocent child, like you have no regard for life yourself.
Please explain to me, how can a 6-month-old baby or an 8-year-old, a 7-year-old can defend themselves against a person with a gun?
There's no way. There's no way at all.
God got a special place for y'all. Please look in this camera. He got a special place for you. All you dudes thinking it's just so gangster to shoot and kill kids. God, Allah, got a place for you. See, you getting away with it right now, and you thinking it's cool and it's sweet. When the truth hit home, me personally, and I'm gonna say this: anybody that's willing to kill somebody and they know they with their child, their mama, their grandma, I hope you rot in HELL.
Indeed.
I have no feelings, no patience for people that kill elderly people, that kill kids. I mean, it take me out my zone. I have no patience. You know, hate ain't even a strong enough word that I have for people that's willing to shoot a child. And I'm going to leave that there and I'm going to sit that there.
Well, I like how you said that, man. You spoke so eloquently. But we're going to tune out to y'all on the live, man. We're going to continue this on Block Business Radio, you know, and Facebook Live if y'all want to tune in with us. But we're really here to change some dynamics and to help elevate life. You know what I'm saying? So tune in to us, Grown Man Podcast. Next Thursday, 7 p.m., we're going to be bringing y'all as much content about politics, education, spirituality, all the things that allow you to just think, you know. So we appreciate y'all that have tuned in tonight for our first episode. One love, one people, one creator. Grown Man.
Salute to my man D. We in it right now. Let's get it. Let's go.
Let's go. Come on.
Proper presentation and organization, leave no room for complication. We embrace the confrontation, meditation as I live amongst this devastation. Riding the red line, Chicago state of mind. Here, rapper is the code, it's in his own mind. Play a text of MP3s, iPhones, plugged in headphones. Your individual, leave you alone. Clone my ancestors, channel Marcus Garvey. Create me an army, march through Riverdale, posting Harvey. It's power in numbers, let no infiltrators among us. Moving these streets with the tactics it brung us. On that diesel, off that rock, expose the weasel on the block, sell the whole squad out to the cookie crooked cops. Look rookie bet like a bookie, it never stops. Surveilling alien, prevent the pyramid from prevailing, combining our resources, keep us growing, sustaining. Nothing from nothing leaves nothing. Zero of zero equals zero. If we ain't producing what we here for, it's power in numbers. Hey, it's power in numbers. Hey. Come on, get it. Look, let's get it. Look, I'm on the boardwalk, staying at the revel, overlooking the ocean like Wiz. I'm on my level.
Boss like Hugo, shining like a bezel.
But you know this game will leave you twisted like a pretzel. Drugs go north and the guns go south. Order another couch delivered to my mama house. Money coming in and my talent is